The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
Tourism businesses are beginning to benefit from government concessions. Fire destroys 2 houses at Story Gap. And in sports, Shade Williams in line for a medal at the World Under-20.
The CBC Headline News, brought to you by Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network.
Credible, balanced, committed. This is the CBC Evening News.
And a very good evening to you. I'm Lisa Lord with the CBC Evening News. And our top story, several tourism entities have started to benefit from the controversial concessions offered by the government. This is according to new chairman of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association, Roseanne Myers. She was speaking to CBC News after paying a courtesy call on General Manager Doug Hoyt and the heads of News and Current Affairs and Marketing, Michelle Arthur and Diane Ford. Lisa Broom tells us more.
The members of CBC's management staff met with the new BHTA head to discuss areas in which they could cooperate. In a sit-down interview afterward, Ms. Myers says 26 properties have made upgrades thanks to the incentives. She adds, however, there are still several areas that need to be ironed out so the full benefits can be realized. Ms. Myers says what's important is that the BHTA, the Barbados Revenue Authority and Customs Department have identified a way forward as a result of some very productive meetings.
At the very senior level, Ms. Sivers and Mrs. Annette Weeks, and with their senior officers and with some of their junior officers, we had a really phenomenal session where we put the issues on the table and jointly agreed on approaches forward. Looking at the processes, looking at the steps, what can we do differently, what can we do better, how can we commonly interpret what was intended in the Act, such that when we come to execute in terms of passing entries and so on for goods coming in, that it is done in a consistent fashion.
And while she's satisfied that progress is being made, the new BHTA chairman says the full suite of solutions need to be in place before the start of the next tourist season in December. Ms. Myers, who is also general manager of Atlantis Submarines, says the association's board has identified 6 priority areas where it will do its part to move the industry forward. Chief among these is changing the perception that the BHTA is concerned only with properties and not the other players that make up the industry.
We have only a few members that are in the business Medford craft village, and Mr. Medford and his specialty in terms of craft as one of the top producers of high quality souvenir items in the Caribbean. I saw he was awarded for that. And we have other aspects that people may not think that would be part. Media houses can be part of the Barbados Hotel and Tourism Association. So our first task is to, yes, grow our membership in those various categories, but to re-engage with our current members.
She also says the association needs to be driven by data and research, so it is results-oriented.
We must be highly respected as being a data-driven, research-driven industry who attracts the brightest and the best, because there's challenge there. There's challenge there because tourism businesses have to be run as businesses. In order to be profitable, they have to manage all the pieces of the pie.
The priority areas will be condensed into a complete strategic plan for the association. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
And Barbados will pay tribute to its only living national hero and the greatest cricketer the world has ever seen, the Right Excellent Sir Garfield Sobers, in a highly anticipated celebrity cricket match next Thursday at the Kensington Oval. Now, that cricket match is just one of the events in a month of activities to mark Sir Gary's 80th birthday. And joining me now to talk about that match is Chair of the 50th Anniversary Celebration Secretariat, Senator Maxine McLean. Good evening, Senator.
Good evening to you.
Thank you for joining us.
Thank you very much.
Now, the cricket match will bring together several past and present cricketing celebrities. Tell us some of the big names we can expect next Thursday.
Well, we will see Carl Hooper, Arjuna Ranatunga to tender Taibu on one team. We have Curtly Ambrose, Courtney Walsh, Ezra Mosley, Philo Wallace, Brian Lara, of course, who's captain in one of the teams. on both sides. And of course, new to this will also be 2 female players, 1 on each. We have Shamelia Connell on the Brian Lara team and Shaquana Quinton on the Clive Lloyd, the Sagaris 11 team, which is managed by Clive Lloyd.
Now, besides cricket, there's going to be a cultural presentation during the innings break, and then we're going to have an after show.
Yes.
Can you divulge anything about that?
Certainly, it is going to be truly a cricket party, and at the innings break, the National Cultural Foundation has planned an exciting educational cultural presentation, and we will, of course, have a specially commissioned piece by popular poet Adrian Green. We will have stilt walkers and well-loved local characters, and at Kensington, I believe one of those characters would, of course, be King Dial. And for the after show, there's a Monarchs for Sagari show, and this will highlight a number of past Calypso, Monarchs, Griner, RPB. We will also have iWeb, Lil Rick, Peter Ram, Mikey, and Stiffy. And Edwin, of course, at the beginning, will sing the national anthem. So we will be treated to cricket, to culture, to Calypso.
And why did the Secretariat choose to get involved in Sagari's birthday celebration?
Well, we are celebrating 50 years of independence. We also recognize that he's the only living national hero. I think that Sagari epitomizes the best of what Barbados is and has been. He is still the world's greatest cricketer, as I said, the world's greatest cricketer on Earth, on Mars, I think the Calypso said. And we need to celebrate that. Across the world, he is celebrated, and we believe that we must pay these kind of tributes when he is here to celebrate and enjoy with himself and his family. And so Barbados really should come out and be part of what we consider to be an iconic event, of course, within the 50th anniversary celebrations, but also a fitting tribute to Sagari. He has been a very humble person, but recognizes that for him, Barbados has been an important home, and he has taken great pride over his years as the best cricketer that we've known and as one of the best ambassadors Barbados has ever had. And
there are other activities planned as well?
Yes, we will, of course, recognize that given his love of golf, there will be a special golf tournament. And interestingly enough, we're celebrating 50 years of independence. He is 80. And in these 50 years, he has had a youth cricket tournament, which is also celebrating 30 years. So 50 and 30 add up to his age. But we will see special tributes to him there as well. That tournament has been going on recently. It brings together young cricketers from across the region and internationally. And so it is a chance to really reflect on and celebrate his several contributions to Barbados. Cricket, golf, and cricket development, I think, are examples of that. And we, of course, will get a chance to probably see and hear from Sagari. So again, I say to Barbadians, come out on the 28th of July. That's his birthday, and we will all celebrate. It is a great entertainment 2020 format, which is always fun and entertaining, and certainly to see some of those names. I mentioned Sir Carl Hooper, as Barbadians like to call him. We have a number of other cricketers. Collis King will be on one of the teams, Ezra Maudsley. We have Henry Bryan and some youngsters as well, Johnny Batson. And so it's a mix of legends and the young people who we call the legacy. And so I trust you will be there to join us as well.
I hope so.
I hope so.
Thank you very much,
Well,
Senator
you're very
McLean.
welcome. Thank you.
That's Chair of the 50th Anniversary Celebration Secretariat, Senator Maxine McLean, talking about next Thursday's celebrity cricket match, all in honor of Sir Gary's 80th birthday celebrations. Well, stay with us. We'll have more news after the break.
Don't let your data experience slow you down. Step up to Digicel, Barbados' fastest 4G network, more than twice as fast as the slow network. Get more with Digicel. Digicel, the fastest 4G network in Barbados. Dial *153# to sign up to Digicel today.
Extra, extra, read all about it. Junior Calypsonians have something to say. Extra, extra, read all about it. Hot topics at the Scotiabank Junior Calypso Monarch Finals in association with IGM Stage Lighting. Extra, extra.
On Saturday, July 23rd at 7 p.m., the Junior Calypso Monarch finalists will ignite the stage at Kensington Oval with a range of hot topics as they vie for the Scotiabank Junior Calypso Monarch crown. Tickets are $25 for adults, $15 for children ages 4 to 12. Available from all crop-over box offices and online at ticketpal.com. Log on to www.ncf.bb for more details. Purchase a ticket for any NCF event and have an opportunity to win a piece of the rock.
Come for crop-over.
Take me down the road! It's time for Bacchanal Time, twice as nice. Bacchanal Time presents the very best of Pop-Over. 2 big shows, Wednesday, July 27th and Thursday, July 28th at the Lloyd Erskine Sanford Center. Featuring Bryna, RBB, Mr. Dale, Marvin, Peter Ram, Biggie Irie, the Bassman King, Steffi, Lil Rick, Man, the comedy of Raman Cork and Trevor Eastman, and a whole lot more. Tickets now $70.
Story Gap is in the news again. This time, a fire around 11:25 last night in that Codrington St. Michael community destroyed two homes, with residents nearby forced to take action to protect their own households. Fire officials responded to the call and contained the blaze to the 2 homes affected. The houses were unoccupied at the time. But there's another twist to this story. Shane Seeley has the details.
The fire, which happened at Story Gap, occurred to the end of this track, where 2 houses were destroyed in the process. Now, police have cordoned off the scene. They were not allowing the media to come on the scene initially. But what I can tell you is that these same 2 homes were occupied by 2 men who were involved in a dispute just last week. In that brutal altercation on Monday, July 11th, 51-year-old Delroy Scarlett sustained chop wounds, which resulted in his hand being severed and his leg partially severed. CBC understands he remains hospitalized. Meantime, the man accused of the attack, 39-year-old Elton DeCosta Watson of Lewis Gap, Green Hill, St. Michael, is currently remanded at Dodds Prison on a charge of serious bodily harm. Now, as far as the fire is concerned, a resident spoke to me off camera. She says she was forced to wet her house with a hose to prevent the fire from spreading to her home. It's the second serious incident here in under 2 weeks, leaving this closely knit community shaken. Now, residents who spoke to me last time were this time around a bit too distraught to speak about last night's ordeal. Meanwhile, police continue their investigations, trying to find out exactly how this fire started. Shane Seeley, CBC News.
Well, this weekend is set to be fully packed as several crop-over events are due to get underway. They include 3 finals and Junior Kadooment.
The National Stadium will come alive with colorful costumes and squeals of excitement tomorrow, as thousands of little ones will have their turn to parade before the judges. For the first time, the Arthur Smith School's band will take part with over 70 students.
There are 5 sections. We have our school, we have the choir, we have the Brownies, Butterfly Club, Karate. We do not have Cub Scouts because we're still working on that band. That's what is not portrayed here.
Several young assistants have been busy behind the scenes at school.
Right now I'm trimming the edges of the belt of one of the costumes, and I have learned how to mostly cut stuff, braid, how poke. So I want to do it again.
I have learned how to craft, make, and braid.
Later in the evening, the melodic voices of the juniors will flow from Kensington Oval for the Junior Monarch Finals. 8 finalists each will be vying for the crown in the 8 to 12 and 13 to 18 categories. Several of them will be representing the Blackman and Gollop School.
I try to run away, 'cause I don't want to play with this thing called recession.
Oh, I'm very proud of them, and we are excited. We're always excited to hear the name Blackman and Gollop out there. And you should have heard us at these semifinals last weekend. We were just shouting. So yes, I'm quite excited about that.
And then on Sunday, the action heads to Bushy Park for what is being billed as the biggest Sunday in soca, Soca Royale. The event includes the finals of the Sweet Soca and Party Monarch competitions, and some of the finalists have been busy going through their paces.
So I'm the only female, so I am capitalizing on that. I want to represent for my ladies and thinking about fire and all sorts of other things that you wouldn't usually think about, but you know, butting up the stage, so you have to have the fire. And I intend to bring it all for sure.
Event producer Aja says preparations are going smoothly and patrons can expect a good show.
Fantastic show, super show. It's being called the biggest Sunday in crop over, but I think it's the biggest event of crop over. There's nothing like this in terms of not only the scale of the event and the scale of the venue, but in terms of the presentations. These guys, the pyrotechnics, the fireworks, and all the other surprises that I know are being done, but I can't say.
So there are several events on. You should get out and enjoy one or more of them this weekend. Lisa Broom, CBC News.
And still to come, a look at some of the stories making headlines across our region.
The ultimate